morning there, my friends, my XRP Army, all of you out there in YouTube land. This is going to be a joint venture here between Joe Crypto Knight and No Respawn Prepping, because this is an important information for all of us. Before I get into that, please smash like, or this might happen to you. Thank you so much. Also, for more really good, down-to-earth, no BS information, subscribe. It's important for the algorithm that the video get shared with everybody. Yes, it is. And I really appreciate all the comments, all you commenters out there. Say Ray Getz, Michael, and I miss Silverback down in Australia. He hasn't been commenting. Maybe he got tired of me. I don't know. Comment or die in the apocalypse. Yeah. Hit notifications or die in the apocalypse. I hope everybody out there understands what a false flag is. If you don't understand what a false flag is, this is what it is in a nutshell. Germany needed a reason to invade Poland because their coffers were empty, and they needed the gold that was in the Polish central bank. So they created a reason, invented a reason. They captured, I think it was 5 Polish border guards, dressed them in German uniforms, and shot them. And then took photos and said, see what they did. They killed 5 of our German border guards. And so they invaded, along with the Soviet Union. That's a false flag. A certain small country over in the Middle East is maybe getting desperate. I think it's time for a haircut, don't you? And their greatest ally, their only ally in the world, the United States of America, is backing out of this nonsense that's going on over there, because our president is finally figuring out that he's about to cause a worldwide depression, and probably already has. I don't think we can undo what's happening now. It's too much momentum behind it. There are too many, there's too much weight behind it. That's my opinion. You do you, boo. You do you. But in order to hook the United States back into it, a la 9/11, where we basically destroyed Iraq, which had nothing to do with the Twin Towers. That was almost exclusively Saudi Arabian citizens and such. But we got to go do something, right? We got to do something. And so we just picked Iraq because Iraq was another chess piece on the Middle East board that was in the way of that small little country that wants the greater Israel project. And what if we have another 9/11 style false flag? What if they take out the person that is on wobbly knees about supporting their country? Charlie Kirk style. And what if they take out the U.S. president? Will the next in line, J.D. Vance, will he then toe the line? Will there be something broader that happens to a mass crowd of people so that the emotions are stirred up and it's blamed on the other belligerent there in the Middle East, Iran? I don't know. But history shows there's a really high degree of probability of that. So be on the lookout for it. There is historical precedence for such an occurrence. The Israel used false flag tactics in Operation Susanna, 1954, also known as the Lavon Affair. What this was is the Israeli military intelligence recruited Egyptian Christian civilians to bomb civilian targets in Cairo and Alexandria, U.S., British, and Egyptian civilian targets, that is, specifically. And the aim was to blame the Egyptian nationalists or the Muslim Brotherhood which would damage Egypt's relations with the West and influence British policy on the Suez Canal. The operation failed. Bombs were mostly intercepted or ineffective. Agents were caught, some executed, and it triggered a major political scandal in Israel that contributed to the downfall of Defense Minister Pinhas Lavon. So this shows a willingness, and they are certainly not unique in this, using false flags. It's a very common tactic used throughout the entire history of the world. So there's nothing new or improved about it. There's nothing unique about it. But you do need to be aware of it. I had a discussion with Grok this morning, and Grok, initially, with my limited scope of the question, it gave it a 1 in 10 chance, 10 being the highest. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I asked it, and it said 1, so 1 in 10. And then I asked it a few more questions and asked it to broaden its scope a bit, and it did. And then it went up 100% to 2 out of 10. And then I gave it some more information that I consider to be important about human nature and cornered animal tactics and such. And it raised it to 3. 3 out of 10. My number's a lot higher, and I feel confident in that number that we could see something like a false flag event that is designed to re-engage the United States in the Middle Eastern conflict, which is a horrible mess and will never get any better. It's only going to get worse. Then we had a brief discussion about World War III and my contention that World War III has already started. There's no declaration of war, but no one there was no worldwide declaration of World War II. It was a slow involvement of more and more belligerents. That it started in 1930. Asia and Ukraine. Things happening down in South America, Central America, South America, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of things around the world that are happening, and wars are fought over resources and resource routes. The Suez Canal is a resource route. They aren't fighting over the resources of the Middle East. They're fighting over the resource route. The resources need that route, as it is right now. And Iran controls it. And this ceasefire, this memorandum of understanding ceasefire, that isn't a memorandum of understanding ceasefire. Both sides are already shooting again. My personal belief is that Israel has its back against a wall. It's a cornered animal. It may be facing existential threats if it doesn't win here. What will it do? They have between 250 and 350 nuclear weapons. Will they go out without a bang? Probably not. They already have the Samson option or whatever, whereby they nuke people if they feel that their existence is threatened. Is the 4th of July a really good time to have a false flag event? Yeah, it is. Be on the lookout. Be prepared. If you are watching this on Joe Kryptonite, get on over to No Respawn Prepping, my other channel, and start to learn about why it's a good thing to be prepared. Joe Kryptonite is about being financially prepared for the changes that are coming. And they're coming. Nothing's going to stop it. And No Respawn Prepping is about starting your preparedness journey from the correct perspective. Like, share, subscribe. Check out the other channel. Whichever one you're on, go and check out the other. Have a great weekend. Do not worry. Do not worry over this. These are things that have just happened over and over and over again in history, and they always will happen. They're part of the human cycle. Put your trust in the one who can save your soul. And then the world gets a much better place. No worries, just preparation. I'm going down today and I'm going to buy more silver. I am. And I got dry powder stored away for crypto. I deployed a little bit. I'm waiting for the price. I want to see if it drops below $1. If it does, we may see 50 cents on XRP. What will XLM do? I'm hoping it gets down to around 14 again. Maybe lower. And then once things get bad enough, they're going to have to implement a new currency system. Crypto's what it's going to be. ISO 20,022 tokens. So if you're watching on Respawn Prepping and haven't ever been introduced to crypto, look at these ISO compliant projects, because they are going to be the new reserve currency, or the new whatever you want to call it. And there's a chance there to propel you and your family into a new paradigm whereby you're able to afford a whole lot of things you can't afford today. God bless y'all. Take care, and I'm out.
I have to say it. Joe Crypto Knight was right all along. It's a beautiful thing. Go, Joe! Go, Joe!